Hello everyone, it's Thursday lunchtime and here I am in my beautiful garden. Excuse the wind-blown hair, it's a little breezy back here. And we're live today talking about relationships again and how we own our stuff in relationship and who we blame in relationship when things go wrong. So you might need a pen and paper here. If you're watching this now live, welcome. Send me a little hello there. And if you're watching this later, I'll come back and check on any comments or anything that anyone has any questions with. So feel free to tap away on the comments. But get yourself a pen and paper because I'm going to get you to do a little exercise here. If you are in a relationship, this is not just couples. This might be a relationship with your parent, a relationship with a sibling or a child or a daughter or whatever. So any relationship, but I'm going to sort of talk about partner relationships, all right? But this can apply. So think about what you, sorry, I've got a bit of a wind situation here. Think about how you react or respond when something doesn't go so great in a relationship. Yeah, what happens when something doesn't go how you want? Someone doesn't behave the way you want, doesn't say what you want them to say, doesn't do what you want them to do. What's your habitual response? And think of one person. So if you are in an intimate relationship, think of that person. If you're not, think of someone else. And feel into how you respond. And what is the feeling underneath that reaction, that response? How are you feeling in that moment? And just write that down. There might be one particular habitual response that you might feel sad, you might feel rejected, you might feel angry. And then think into how do you respond to that person? What do you do in that moment? Do you bite back? Do you get angry? Do you feel a lot of resentment and frustration and just have that inner boil and make some kind of little throwaway passive-aggressive sort of comment? Or do you shut down? And just write that down. Habitually, what is something that you do? And have a look at that now, because how you react and respond, it's not me and it's not you, it's both of us. Right? We have this thing of, you know, don't blame yourself. It's always a mirror. Look back at yourself. Yes, that's true, but it is also what that other person is doing and what environment that creates, how that triggers something in you and how you respond to that. Because you are both in training each other into your own behaviors, right, of which are very habitual. If you've been in a relationship, and I've been in the same relationship for 27 years, so I know all about habitual patterns, right? So I want you to look at what your habitual pattern is. And then think, how do you show up for yourself? How do you show up for yourself? And look at those same responses. Do you bite back? Do you get angry with yourself? Do you shut yourself down? Or do you get frustrated and let inner resentments boil up for you about yourself? How do you treat yourself? And see if there's a correlation here. How do you show up for you? Is it the same as how you react when you feel that someone else isn't showing up for you, isn't doing what you want them to do? Because this is the true mirror here. The beauty is that relationship helps to show us how we are not actually showing up for ourselves. So just sit with that for a moment. It might take a little bit of unraveling. And I'll give you an example around this. So, for example, if I haven't been honoring myself, if I haven't been, for example, doing my own yoga practice, or I haven't been going to the beach and dancing, which are a couple of things that I love to do, if I haven't been honoring myself in that moment, I can get, or have had a tendency in the past to get quite frustrated with my partner if he doesn't want to do something with me. He doesn't want to do something fun. But what I've noticed is that when I turn that back in on me, this is about how I've not been showing up for myself. I've not been doing the things that I love for myself. I've been inhibiting my own desires. And so now when someone else isn't showing up for me and wanting to do something with me, I'm projecting that onto them even more. And what happens is that when you stand in the truth of who you are, you own your own desires and you follow through on them. You build this sort of core presence of you being rooted in yourself. And this is very magnetic to your partner. And so I know from experience that when I am doing what I love for myself, because I love it and it fills me up and I'm expressing who I am being more in my authentic self. And my partner sees that and wants to spend more time with me. So can you see how this works? If we put all our resentments on what's going on onto somebody else, we are not necessarily seeing what's going on for ourselves. And as soon as we take more responsibility for who we are and what we love and really honor our own presence and our own desires, then we are way more magnetic, way more attractive to our partner, and they're going to want to spend more time and energy with us. So this is just one way in which this plays out, in which this sort of dynamic plays out. So I invite you to have a look at some of these habitual reactions and responses that you might have with your partner and see how you are maybe not showing up for yourself, not allowing yourself to do these things. And one of the things that people can do in relationship is always want to be together, always want the other person to do what they're doing, or shutting down your own desires because you don't want to do that by yourself. And relationships are about being strong by yourself and equally strong together. And if you're only strong by yourself or only strong together, then there's some work to be done on these other sides. So I hope that's sort of just giving you a little bit of something to think about today. If you've just joined us now, go back to the beginning in a moment. We're just about to finish up and listen to the whole thing and make a few notes on what are your reactions and how are you not maybe showing up for yourself. And I see just from this one day couples day that we've got coming up and chatting to people is that often there's a real handbrake on even wanting to discuss the possibility of doing some work together as a couple. And already one part of that partnership is projecting what the other person is going to think about doing it. Or the fear of communication, of bringing up that I would love to, do some work together. There's a fear coming in and the handbrake is coming on about doing this because of this lack of knowing how to communicate properly. And this is showing me hugely how desperately this work is needed, how communication is the number one thing that we need to get a handle on. And no one taught us this. No one sent us to couples school before our first relationship. And if they had, we probably wouldn't have listened back when we were a teenager. But no one shows and shares with us how to communicate in a way that is non-violent, which allows your partner to really respond to you rather than get triggered by you. And so this is something that we'll be sharing at our one-day couples retreat. This is not about digging into your deepest, darkest secrets. This is not about uncovering all your deep and dark stuff. This is about sharing processes and practices and sort of fundamental principles, if you like, around communication, around connection, around love, around triggers, so that as a couple, you can work with this together and really start to dissolve some of those little walls and boundaries that can spring up over the years. So if that's something that you feel a little drawn to, that you have a good relationship, but you want your relationship to be a great relationship, then have a look at the details on the top. It's all there. It's a one day coming up. And I'm more than happy to speak to you and or your partner. If you have any questions, if you're not sure, if you have some concerns, if you feel it's going to be a little challenging or confronting, what I can say to you is that, the couples that I've seen go through this work and myself and my own partner, seeing the resistances prior to doing this work and then doing it, the resistance melts away. The only confrontation is within ourselves. No one else is there to confront you or, like I say, dig into your deep, dark secrets. We're not asking you to share all your emotional stuff. This is about you and your partner connecting on a deeper level. So there's more love, more connection, more beauty, more appreciation, more resilience to things that come around. And who doesn't want that for their relationship? I know I do, and I feel so blessed that I have that, and I want to share that with you. So please check out the link and, private message me if you have any questions, because we'll be locking in these slots now over the next week, and hope to see you there on that day. So have a beautiful day, and enjoy your loved one, and have a little check out that exercise that we looked at before. All right, take care. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.